everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber Westbrook and today I'm going from this super faded purple with my natural roots back to platinum blonde. This purple should be relatively easy to get out of my hair because it's super faded, but the biggest problem I'm gonna have to face is the long regrowth of my roots, and I'm gonna have to stay away from these roots, like at least like the first like ½ inch to 3/4 inch right here, and then I'm gonna have to bleach all of this first except for the roots. And underneath this purple down here is already like a level 9, so I just need to remove the color and then maybe do like a little bit of lightening. But it doesn't need too much lightening and I don't really want to fry my ends more than they already are. I'm going to mix up a bleach wash because I just want to get the purple out, but I need it to go back to blonde. And I was going to use a color remover so that I can make sure that it's going to come out. Because if it doesn't, I do have the Color Oops Bold that I can try, which I know is like a little bit more safe for your hair, but at the same time it is bleach based anyway, so I'm thinking that with the bleach wash and with developer and just mild bleach that it should be fine. So today is also the first time that I'm using the BlondMe, which I have heard is really like less damaging to your hair because it has like additives in it that are like safer for your hair. And I have to say, I've been using the Quick Blue for so long and I don't really like it, and I heard that this is way better than the Quick Blue, so I bought the really big tub because I'm not ever using Quick Blue again. And then I got both of the developers that I wanted. I have never in my life used anything higher than a 20 even with Quick Blue because my hair is already like a level 7, I would say, and so it's really easy to lighten, and so I really don't need anything more than this. And I have gone platinum like multiple times before, so I have a 7 volume and I have the 20 volume. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the 7 volume and just add a little bit of a bleach wash to it. And I'm gonna wet my hair, but not the roots. I'm just gonna do the bleach wash on the bottom, but I am gonna do that test strand first, just to make sure. I'm just going to bleach wash from where the purple starts down to the end and see if that gets that purple out. So this is all I'm mixing up. It's still kind of a lot for a test strand, but I'm just gonna mix it. And I also used like this Bond Strength shampoo. It's white and it's the only white shampoo that I have, even though I don't often use it because I don't want to have too much protein in my hair, and I already use a protein product. I don't want to have protein damage. So it's a much like watery mixture than like regular bleach. You can see it like moves in the bowl, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it with my hands with gloves on, but I'm gonna apply it with my hands because look at how small. I've already dampened this, but I think it's kind of dried out since then, so I'm just gonna like spray it just a little bit more, and I'm gonna just brush that through so it's damp throughout the whole thing. Okay, let's see if this takes out the purple. It's hard to kind of get it on there pretty thick because it's so watery that it's almost like clear. I'm used to having like a big thick layer of bleach. My goodness, this hair has gotten so long since the last time I bleached it. Blowing my mind, honestly. I can kind of already see that purple coming out on the top. And like, this is the only kind of bleach that actually lathers, so I'm just gonna rub it in really well. I am down a finger. This middle finger right here is still really messed up. If you saw my other video of when I gave myself a haircut, I cut it really, really deep, and it's been a long time since that happened, and it's still like really bad. So I can't really use that finger, which is fine. It is what it is, and I've been dealing with it for a long time. It's really hard to type when you don't have your middle finger. But okay, this is not lifting super fast. It's still really purple. So that's a little bit worrisome because I was going to do a bleach bath on the whole thing, and I really don't want to use the color remover, but I might have to. I don't know. I'm going to leave this in for a little bit. I'm just going to try and put a ton on here. There it is, clipped up. I mean, that's probably a bad idea, but honestly, since it is just a test strand, and if it does work, then I'll be putting bleach bath on the whole entire thing. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit and see if it'll take the color out. Okay, it's been pretty much 20 minutes. It's been like 18 minutes. And I have like most of it out, I think. There's a little bit of purple staining left right there. And by the way, I used 7 volume with shampoo, so it's like really diluted. Took most of it out, you can see. Honestly, that kind of got it out pretty good, so I think for the whole hair, I'm gonna do the bleach bath again, but I'm gonna do it with 20 volume so that it gets it out even a little bit more than this. And then once I do my mids and my roots, I can always just like, once it's like done processing, just kind of like pull it down or even add some more 7 volume on the bottom to like even it out. Because it kind of looks like it's toned, you know, like the purple kind of made it so that it's not yellow at all. So let me wet my head and I will be right back. Okay, so I've wet my hair and I'll probably have to go and re-wet certain sections as I go through. But I've also separated it into 4 quadrants. So I have like the top, front, and then the back. And I think I did pretty good with sectioning. This piece is a little bit over, but I'm not touching my roots or anything, so it's fine. I'll section it better when I actually do the foils. But I am going to take kind of thicker sections than I would if I was doing straight bleach for the bleach bath, because I can literally like lather it in. So I'm gonna put my gloves back on and then I'm gonna mix up my bleach and then we're gonna lather this in. So I'm gonna use the 20 volume this time instead of the 7 volume. And I'm gonna be a little bit more messy than I would if it was like regular bleach. Okay, so this is basically the ratio that I mix it in. This is the shampoo and the developer and the bleach are 1:1. Okay, so it's pretty runny, but not like watery runny. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wet this one more time and work quickly so that the bleach has its potency, especially since it has other stuff mixed in. I want to make sure that it still stays potent. And I need to get like all the way like up here on some pieces, because if you can see, there's like pieces that I had highlighted before, so like little strands and stuff that go up a little bit higher. So I'm gonna hit those, but just like not as hard, because when I do the mids with the 20 volume mixture by itself, when I'm bleaching later, that'll totally take all of that out. So I'm not gonna hit those super hard, maybe just like a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I am gonna take like diagonal sections, but just a little bit thicker than I would otherwise. Clip this up. All right, let's go at it. I'm just gonna use the brush to start so I can get the product off of it, and then I'm going in with my hands. And whew, the bleach is more potent than I remember. It's been a minute since I bleached my hair. Let's get that in on every strand really good. Kind of lather it in a little bit. Oh no, I'm already getting it on my skin. Oh my god. I did not know that it would be so strong. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm using a new kind of bleach. I'm honestly not sure, but we're gonna get through this quick. Oh my god, I'm dripping everywhere. I am making such a mess. I'm not used to such a watery consistency. Let's get it all together. I am gonna brush it through too once I get each section done. Oh my god, this is only one section too. Alright, let's let it kind of space out a little bit so it's not, oh my goodness, that is working really well. Okay, a lot of that purple is coming out. I'm just gonna add some more to the ends because that's where the brightest purple was. So I'm gonna make sure that's really, really saturated down there. Okay, other side. I'm making such a mess. I'm gonna have to like deep clean every surface of this. Luckily, I don't have like super thick hair, so it's relatively easy to cover. Also, sorry if I make weird faces. I know I do when I'm doing my hair. My nose is always scrunched up. My glasses are always falling down my face. It's okay. Yeah, I didn't really like the purple too much, if I'm being honest. It wasn't my favorite. Like, I don't know. I've never really gone dark. Like, I mean, maybe I have. One time I put the 050 toner from Wella. You know, you're supposed to put like a capful to make things like more purple, and I put the whole thing on my head because I wanted it to be like a dark, like silver gray color, and it came out actually really good, so I was like super happy with that. But that's probably the darkest that I've ever gone, and that was like a long time ago. That was when I had my side shave, and it was years and years ago. So that's probably the darkest that I've been. And I've been like platinum for a long time. And then I went dark purple, and yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with pastel shades from now on, just because I don't really, it doesn't suit me. Like, it's not my personality. I'm more like, I'd rather be like Barbie pink all the time. The back is always the hardest no matter what you're doing. But I got this like three-way mirror situation going on so I can actually see it better. And I have to say, it's very helpful. I usually do stuff in my bathroom, but I'd rather just do it in here because I have my filming set up already and I don't have to move around a lot. So yeah, I used to have to like have a hand mirror and I would hold it, and that was just torture. I hated that. So this is much better. I really like this three-way mirror situation. Okay, now that I have the other one mixed up, actually I'm gonna do this side first. Slightly more difficult. And you can see this stuff is already lightening up. Like, that's almost back to blonde. So I'm gonna hurry really fast so that I don't have to worry about it going too far. I know it's gonna turn some of my regrowth a little bit like orange or yellow, and that's okay because I'm gonna be working on that later. Totally fine. No problem. And I'm gonna do this in quick, chunky sections. I'm not going to worry too much about how thick these sections are because the front doesn't have much hair, so the bleach bath should get most of it out. Oh man, this stuff is stronger than I thought it was gonna be. Oh my god, it's like burning my eyes. It gets better like as time goes on, like as it loses its potency. And I do have money pieces that I made, so I'm gonna make sure I get up on those. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more difficult, but I guess bleach baths are just easy. I honestly have done a bleach bath once before and I did it totally wrong. I was trying to get pink and coral out of my hair because I just had a little bit left after it faded out. And I didn't put enough bleach in it. I was like worried that I was gonna fry off my like already blonde hair. But that's because I was using quick blue. So honestly, I'm not as worried with the BlondMe because I've heard that it's just a little bit better for strengthening bonds. So I'm gonna kind of count on that. Plus, I'm using diluted 20 volume. So honestly, it's not the worst. It could be a lot worse. And in this situation, I'm not worried about the regrowth because it's all going platinum. I did my hair for my wedding like about a month before I got married. I did highlights. I'll show you a picture. And I did a good job, I think. But yeah, it's harder to like bleach out like all of my hair back to platinum just because I did so much of it with highlights, and that was the highlights on my like 8-month regrowth because I didn't want to deal with the regrowth back then. So now I have more problems to deal with than I did back then. Okay, I'm gonna leave it in here and keep checking for little purple spots, but I'm gonna leave it for 20 minutes and make sure that everything is good before I wash this out, and I'll be back after I wash it out to show you the results. Okay, so I just rinsed it out and it's pretty like pink in some areas still, especially these front pieces. I don't know why they took to it so well, but it's fine because I'm going to be bleaching over them a little bit anyway. So I'm going to dry it and then show you what that looks like, and then we'll move on to the bleach, which is going to be super hard because it's very technical and I have to work on the back a lot. So wish me luck on that. I'll dry it and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is dry, and it did take out most of the color like I was saying, but you can still see very clearly that I have some like pink, residual pink left over from it. I'm not too worried about that though because this will come out when I'm like bleaching the rest of it, and you can see that little spot that I got of bleach right here, which is crazy because that was a bleach bath, and you can see how well my hair lightens because this was just like one little spot that I got on with bleach. The only thing that I have is, should I do foils or should I not do foils? I don't know, my hair lightens so fast that even if I have to go in with another 20 volume, I'm using BlondMe, so I think 2 rounds of 20 volume just on this part wouldn't be the worst thing ever because I've done 2 rounds in the same day of quick blue and it didn't mess up my hair at all. Right now, my hair feels completely strong. It looks a little dry right now, but that's because I didn't put any product in. I literally just washed it out with shampoo. The thing is, if I do foils, it will be a lot easier to go in and do the roots because I can just like lift up the foils where they are, but it's a lot harder to do foils in the back. And my husband said he would help, but also I have like a good mirror and I've done foils in the back before and like didn't mess it up. So I'm trying to decide. And my decision is to not use foils. I'm gonna try and section it out really well, and the only problem I'm gonna have is resectioning once the bleach is on my mids so that I can go back and do my roots. I may not have a professional hairstyling career and I may not get everything I want out of my hair, but I can get pretty close, and I'm just gonna have to be okay with that because I really don't trust any professionals with my hair. I worked front desk at a hair salon for a long time, and I'm just, I know that hairdressers make mistakes, and if you get a really good one, then it's really expensive, and I'm like, well, I can live with a little bit less quality for less money. And if I try really hard and do my best to do all the research that I can do, I've watched so many videos and I've done my hair so many times and I've bleached it quite a few times. I think that I'll get really close to a level 10. I've never gotten all the way to 10 before. I almost always get to 9. Like this right here is the closest I've gotten, and that's only on my ends. So you can see these middle parts, I just stopped at level 9 and toned it with like T18. Okay, now I need to stop my blabbering and section out the hair. Okay, let's separate all of this. And what I'm gonna do is a little bit different than what I've done in the past because I wanna make sure that I get every section really, really well. And before anybody gets upset, I am going to be overlapping, and some of these highlights and stuff are gonna get a little bit extra of the 20 volume, but I'm really not worried about it because those pieces are really strong still, so I'm not worried about frying it off. And after I'm done with this big bleach of all my grow out, I'm going to maintain my roots and do them about every 4 to 5 weeks maximum, so that it'll be so much easier. All I have to do is lift my roots and it'll just match up the rest, and that'll be so easy. So all I have to do is maintain. So that's the plan. Let me just separate these front pieces right here. I'll take my glasses off for this, especially since it's dry. Okay, let's pin these up really good. All those bang pieces just popping out. Okay, so there's one section. I want really clean sections because I want to do it right. Because I don't want to have to like worry about it later. I'm all about planning ahead, and I know that it's gonna be a problem later. Oh, these pieces are so like pinkish still. I don't think I'm ever doing purple again. I mean, I will, but like pastel. Like, I don't think I'll ever do dark purple ever again. Okay, so I actually just undid the back because I want to do this top section separately so I can do it all together. Okay, I'm gonna wind that around, stick a clip in it. Okay, so there's that section. Okay, and then for the back, I'm just gonna split it in half. So I'm gonna start right here, just go straight down the middle. Okay, that's really straight, so. Yay, my sectioning looks pretty! I'm gonna try and do really thin sections like everyone always says. I can't say that I'm gonna be perfect with it because I sometimes struggle with patience, and if my health issues start acting up, then I start getting a little bit tired and irritated, and that's not fun. So I'm gonna try and work fast, but as you can see with that bleach bath, I have like a pretty solid like line to work off, and I'm gonna go a little bit further than that to like blend it in, and then I'll bring it all the way down, and I think that it'll be fine. So yeah, if you can see, that section is good. I think I'm gonna do this whole section off camera, and then I'll come back when I do this side so that you guys can see it better. So I will come right back when this side is done. I'll take all thin sections like this all the way up, and then I'll switch to this side. So hold tight and I'll be right back. Okay, so I changed my mind after like the first strand. I decided that I was gonna do the foils, and honestly I think that this side of foils came out really, really well. They seem really even, and instead of folding the foils, I actually took my foils and I like ripped them in half. I've been putting all the bleach on a strand and then putting the foil under, putting the strand on the foil, and then putting another foil on top. So each one of these only has one foil, but it has 2 layers of it because it's one foil but torn in half. I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna work on this side now, and I'm gonna have to like get used to this because I just barely got used to doing the other side. But let's go ahead and start and see how difficult Oh my goodness, this is going to be harder. I'll get used to it. I should have started with this side because it's harder, but I didn't actually know which side was going to be harder. Like, I could guess, and I thought that I guessed right. But I started the bleach bath on the other side, so I should have known. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I missed this little piece. This goes up there too. Okay, so this is how thin of a piece that I do. And so what I've been doing, and I almost used like 2 full bowls already because I'm mixing just small amounts so that the bleach is always really potent. And what I've been doing is on the first bowl I did a mixture of 20 volume and 7 volume, and then now I'm on the second bowl and I'm doing a little bit more of the 20 volume and less of the 7 volume, and as I get towards the front it's going to be only 20 volume. That way this side processes slower, and then this is the next slowest one, and then so on and so forth until they're all done, and then they all process at the same speed, and then I can hit it all with 20 volume for the roots and they should all match up. That's my hope. I don't know if it's going to be a little bit splotchy. I am taking really thin sections, so I'm really hoping that it's not going to be splotchy. But I'll show you what I'm doing. At first, I take the brush and I make the line. So I'm making the line right here, and then I look on the other side and I'm making the line right there too, about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch away from the root, because in my experience with my hair, that's how far it takes. And it's really hard for me to get used to this side because I literally just got used to looking at my hair backwards on the other side, so now I'm like Uno reverse, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take my fingers now instead of the brush and get the lengths, but I'm still gonna hold it really tight, and I'm gonna still let it be in this longish, like thin section so that it gets through all the way. And I'm just gonna like bring it down a little bit because this doesn't have a lot of regrowth, so I'm actually bringing this one down too far on accident. So then what I do is I put the foil right there, and I'm going to angle it a little bit. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to doing the other side, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to angle it like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear another one, and I'm going to put that one on top. And then I'm just going to fold this little bit out of the way just so that I don't scratch my ear. And then that's it. So I'm just going to do that all the way up. So I'm not going to talk because I'm going to concentrate, and I'm just going to time lapse this. Okay, so that side was significantly harder than that side, and I know I got some areas where I touched the actual root and didn't get far enough away from it, so there might be like a couple of spots where there's hot roots, but I plan on getting it all really light, so it should be okay. These bottom ones are really warm, and now that I'm finished with both the sides of the back, and I have 3 sections left. I have the crown and then the 2 front, which will go much faster because I'll be able to see a lot easier. I'm just going to check these bottom ones and see how they are lifting. Let's see that very first one that I did. And I'm just going to like look at it and oh my god. That is white. Okay, I gotta take the foils out on this side because that is white. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. I don't know when to do the roots though. Should I just take these out now and then do the roots? Oh my god, that is platinum. Oh, it kind of like swelled a little bit onto the roots. But look, I'm literally wiping the bleach off and that is white. Oh my god, it's gonna look so good. Okay, but I have to take these out, but I don't know what to do about the roots. Should I just do the roots now? And then I'm going to have to wash out the back and do the front. I think that is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to rinse out the back before I do the front because I did the foils. Holy cow. Okay, this bleach works amazing. Oh my god. Okay, let's do the roots. I got to mix up some more bleach. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to mix up 7 volume for the roots, so maybe I can leave this in a little bit longer, but oh my god, that processed in like 20 minutes. Like, by the time I finished this side and moved on to this side, like, that was already done. Okay, I'm gonna do the roots in 7 volume. That's what I'm gonna do. If I have to touch them up later, then I have to touch them up, but I'm just gonna play it safe. Okay, I'm freaking out because time constraint. I thought I had a little bit more time, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this up. I'm gonna do this side and then I'll check this side. So I'm gonna turn the camera off while I do this side because you guys won't be able to see anything anyway. When I get over to this side, then I'll turn the camera back on so you can watch. Okay, I know it's crazy, but this side is also already done. I checked the bottom piece and it is also like super white. So I did this side, the roots, with 7 volume, and I still have 7 volume left. And I actually ended up starting with the top. I started with the bottom initially, but it was hard to hold all those pieces up. So I started with the top and worked my way down and was taking each foil out as I did the roots. So all of these roots are like totally covered, but in 7 volume. So I have a little bit of working time because they're not going to lift as fast with 7 volume, but they are against my scalp, which is very warm. So they are going to lift pretty dang fast. And it's crazy to me that this has worked so well. I have never in my life bleached my hair with this beautiful and like simple bleach formula. And I did the test where I like test the strand. So I'll show you one. Let's test this one. And I just like pulled on it and it is so strong still. It feels like there's like no damage at all. Like, I am in shock right now. And like, because these pieces are so white with the bleach on, they are going to show up a little bit more yellow when I do actually wash it out. But when I rub the bleach off of it, look at that. That is like basically super platinum already. Like, insanity. I can't even believe it. So I'm going to start on this side so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me just move my mirrors in a little bit so I can kind of see a little better. So basically, let's check this top piece and let's see, because I just did this one. So this one's not quite ready yet. So it looks like I'm going to have to start on the bottom or maybe just let that process for another couple of minutes. I'm going to set a timer for like 10 minutes and then I'm going to leave it up like this so that the top ones can get even more heat from all the foils on top. And then these ones down at the very bottom can like kind of get less. So these ones will get warmer. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to sit like this for 10 minutes. I'll check the clock and then I'll be back when it's time to do the roots. So see you then. Okay, so it's only been 5 minutes. Basically nothing has changed, but I just realized I don't want my bleach to sit here. So I'm just going to try and do it from the bottom, and it's going to be, you know, that side was always easier than this side, no matter what. So I guess it was just meant to be. So I'm just going to do my very best to do it from the bottom. I want to get both the underside and the top. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's move on to the second one. And I'm going to check each foil as I go and make sure that they're light enough. But I can already feel these bottom ones are super warm. My hair lightens so fast with this BlondMe, that's insanity. Yeah, this one's good to go too. I'm definitely going to have to relighten my ends though, because now the mids are way lighter than the ends. But it's like as close to virgin hair as it's going to get. Well, that one had a big spot. I hope there's not like a dark spot right on the back of my head. But you know what? If there is, I can always hit just that spot with a little more bleach. It's really hard to see the back. I don't have very good vision back here. But you know what? It's okay. Man, my hair looks crazy. It looks like a 90s hairstyle. Like, you know, like Lizzie McGuire style. Yeah, that's this. Maybe I can just hold them up while I do this. I'll get the perimeter right here afterwards, like once I don't have to hold up all these foils. When I can have a little bit more accuracy. I'm so happy with like how little damage I feel on this. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. I'm gonna have to mix up another bowl real soon. I just don't want to do those top ones if they're not ready. These sections are definitely not as straight as the other side. So I gotta make sure I get all those little roots even though they're not perfect. Okay, and then I'm gonna wait a few minutes, and I'm not gonna mix up another bowl quite yet because I want to let these foils process a little bit longer. All right, I'm gonna wait a few minutes now until these top ones get hot, and then I'll mix up the other bowl, and then I'll turn you guys back on so that you can see what I'm doing for the rest of the back. And then I think I'm going to just very quickly, as quickly as I can, do the front while the back is still processing. I don't know, that's kind of risky though because this is already so white and it's still very wet. Oh, it's warm too. I guess I'm just gonna have to rinse out the back. But you know what? I only have to do this once because every other time I'm only gonna have to touch up the roots. Yeah, see, look, this piece is not processed yet because it is white, but this is going to be slightly more yellow than the other side, but I think it's going to be okay because I'm letting all the pieces on top of it marinate a little bit longer. So I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I think these are just about light enough, and I think that it's light enough that as I continue processing it once the roots are in, that it will be enough. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up another batch of the 7 volume really quick, and I might waste a little bit of this because I don't know if I'm going to use it all, but I'd rather have a little bit too much. And I'm still doing a 1 to 1.5 ratio, so that means I'm doing 2 mini scoops of powder and 3 mini scoops of developer. I'm actually pretty happy because I have a lot of energy right now, and I think maybe it's because I'm so happy to be going platinum and I've never had a bleach work this good. So it's making me really excited. Okay, so I have some 7 volume mixed up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit these roots on this side with my 7 volume. It's so funny because it's so cold when you first mix it, and then it turns so hot when it's on your head. So I'm going to pull that foil out. Honestly, I'm going to get another piece of foil right here. And I'm going to put this on the top just to block that from messing anything up. So I'm going to put that on top of there, and then this is where all those pieces are going to rest. So that way I don't get bleach on my unbleached hair because it's not ready for that yet. And I'm going to make sure that I go in and get my center part pretty good because it might have gotten left out in some areas because I can't see the back super good. I'm going to make sure that I put tons on. And it's okay if you overlap when you already have bleach on the hair because it kind of acts as a little barrier, or so I've heard. Honestly, I'm just following the instructions of Brad Mondo and also Hair Buddha because I watch all their videos to make sure that I don't mess up. And some of these have fallen out already, but that's okay. But I don't want to mess up my hair, and so I'm going to take the advice of the good people out here. It's actually Hair Buddha who loves the BlondMe, and if it wasn't for Hair Buddha, I'd still be using the trash that is Quick Blue. So, thank you, Hair Buddha, for converting me to BlondMe, because honestly, best bleach ever. No damage, no breakage. And my hair is a white level 10, which I could never get with the Quick Blue. Oh, this is the last foil, you guys. Last one. Oh my god. Let's make sure I got all of that. It looks like, oh no, it looks like that thick spot that I gave up missed a spot. Okay, I'm going to load some bleach on that spot, and I'm going to go through and cross-check because I think that this spot is actually like problematic because I did it so thick and I knew this was going to happen, and I did it anyway because I felt lazy. But I'm going to put some of this through, and I want to cross-check the other sections too. I know this is only 7 volume, but I'm hoping that it will lift that while the rest lifts. But I am going to go through a little bit sideways and See, look at that. I missed some spots. So I'm going to make sure that I get all these spots that I missed going up and down. Oh yeah, I missed a lot of spots. Okay. We're just going to make sure that we get all these little spots that I missed. This is what cross-checking is for, you guys. Because we want to make sure that all the roots get got, especially since this side was significantly harder than the other side. See, now the ends are dry, so I don't feel bad about pulling on them. Okay, looks like this section's okay. It must have just been like the front, but we're gonna cross-check all of it just to make sure. Wow, my hair is not even damaged at all. That just goes through like butter. Okay, these pieces are good. Looks like I only really missed some pieces like on the edge, but we gotta double check. Oh look, I missed that whole bottom section. Oh my goodness. We can't have that. Goodness gracious, what was I doing? Not doing it carefully, that's for sure. Let's cross check this middle section. Oh, I see dark. I see some darkness. Yep, missed a couple spots right there in the center. I just hate when there's like brown spots right in the middle. It's much easier to check it now than to go back after it's dry and you can see the spots clear as day, especially when it's like straightened. And then you're like, oh, I missed that spot. And then you have to like go in and like spot touch it without touching anything else. So I'm gonna like cross check it this way too, because I don't want any roots to show. And then I'm gonna go through. See, look, there's roots right there. This is why we go through a million times and make sure. I thought I had super thin sectioning, but apparently it was not thin enough, especially around certain parts. I have a feeling the other side is gonna be a lot better because it's way easier for me to do that side over there than it is to do this side. Put some more on here. It looks like it's needing a little. But the more times I can slice this, the more chances I have of finding the bad spots. It looks like mostly it's like the roots that I need to cross-check because the ends pretty much all got saturated. But it's the roots that didn't get as much. So you can see that there's spots. And that is unacceptable. Okay, I might go and cross-check that again in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and come back when all the cross-checking is done. And I'm going to also wash out the back before I start the crown and the front. So I'm just gonna rinse that out and then I'll come back when this is wet and we can see like how good it actually took out and see if there's any spots. Okay, so here's the deal. The top third of what I bleached is really great, and then it has some really orangey spots about halfway like down, and then it goes into my lowers, which I didn't touch at all. I wanted to make sure the mids and the roots were like perfect, and I think most of the regrowth is doing pretty good, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. But it does have a lot of orange, which is being kind of stubborn. But here, let me show you what it looks like. So this is it right now. You can see there's still a lot of like yellows and oranges, especially right here. I've missed a couple of spots. And then all of this is like a perfect level 10, but then right here is definitely like level 8 or 9. There's still orange in this. So I definitely want to hit these sections again. Underneath, I'm going to have to be careful because it goes down more, and I just need to make sure that it doesn't get over processed. So I'm going to hit all of that with a 20 volume once it's dry and once the top is done. I'm going to blow dry the back so we can see what it looks like dry, because I'm sure it'll be lighter and prettier once it's dry. And then once that's blow dried, I will come back. So see you in a second. Okay, you guys, after drying it, I'm even more happy because it is so soft. Even though this is level 10, it is soft. I had no breakage. Like, the amount of hair that always comes out when I brush it after the shower is what came out. So like nothing is broken, and yes, I still have to do the ends, that's true. But guys, look at this lift. I have a couple of areas that are a little bit off. That's user error. I'm not perfect with the back. Look at this crazy lift, you guys. This is what happens when you take a super long amount of time and you do it right and then you wash out half. Look at the back. Just look at the back right there. Like that is a flawless lift right there. Oh my god, this is awesome. Okay, I am going to start on this part right here. This is the rest of the back. So it's really important to get that right on because it's what's going to show over the top of this. So I'm going to get started on this right now. I don't want it to get bleach on that bottom part at all. So I'm going to put a barrier there. Okay, I'm going to put this here to protect this bottom part because I really don't want to mess it up after getting it perfect. It's not the perfect solution, but you know, it'll do. All right, let's mix up some 20 volume and then we'll get started. Okay, so I finished the foils on this side. I went further down, so I had to use a whole foil instead of half, but I left a little bit at the ends so that they won't get like super fried, and then I'll just go in and hit those like at the end when I do the roots. So now I can do this side. So I've already mixed up 2 bowls. This is how much I have in my second bowl still. So should be probably this and then 1 more bowl to get this side done, and then maybe 1 bowl for this and 1 bowl for this because I want it all to be really, really fresh. And let's work on this section now that you guys can see what's going on. I'm going to try and be better about this side than I was on the bottom half because that bottom half is going to need a little bit of readjusting because of how much I messed it up. So hopefully this side does better. I can kind of see this side better for the top actually. It's funny because the top was harder on the other side when the bottom pieces were all harder on this side. So I don't know what's going on. See, look, isn't it good I have this here because it's like blocking all these pieces so it won't over process on that bottom piece that I already did. So smart. And see, I'm taking it a lot further down now. I'll have to do less work after the fact. And I'm making sure to put a whole heck of a lot on there. Okay. And don't worry, I'll get those tips when I come back through. So let's get this all jammed all up in there. Luckily, I have a lot of foils, so I got a box of 500 and they were cheap, and I hate regular tinfoil, but these are so much better. So if you're like me and you hate tinfoil, these are made for hair and they're way better. They don't crinkle as much and they're more forgiving. I'm just going to tilt that up because otherwise it'll hit my shoulder and drive me nuts. Alright, let us continue. The amount of times that I've hit my mirror when trying to like separate out my hair is ridiculous. Yeah, this side on the top is so much easier. Maybe my mirrors are not positioned well enough, but I'm getting really close to the root on that one. I need to watch out. It's so hard to tell direction with these mirrors because right feels like left and left feels like right. So I keep doing it the wrong way and then I'm confused as to why it's going a different direction. Okay, let me mix up another bowl really quickly. Alright, no being lazy. We're in the home stretch. You know what I mean? It's harder at this point in time to not be lazy because I've been doing this for almost 6 hours now already and I haven't done the front yet. I mean, if you count the bleach wash, it's been a really long time already. I kind of went all the way to the bottom on that one on accident. I feel like this side has more hairs than the other side. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting tired to be honest. So now it's just the front 2 parts, which is going to go really fast, and I just ran out of bleach, so I'm going to mix up another one. And I'm going to do this side off camera, and then I'll do this side when I come back. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this side in, and I have to hurry because the bottom that I just did first is already turning like really white. So I'm just going to hurry and do this side as fast as I can while still like maintaining, you know, integrity of it. And then I'm going to go in on this side and do the roots. so that those can process at the same time and not get over processed. But yeah, let's start with this side. And I kind of start with diagonal sections and then move into more vertical a little bit, but I mostly stick with a lot of diagonal sections. I don't know if this is thin enough, but I kind of have to go quick, so I'm gonna say that it's thin enough. And it's not straight either, but I'm gonna fix that on the next one. This is just the first one. Oh, I just got it all on that section, but that's okay. And on these front pieces, I've been dragging it all the way down, but I'm not putting the bottoms in foils. I'm only putting the midsection in a foil so that it doesn't over process. So I'm just putting these skinny ones into the foil like this, and then I'm folding them over. Like so. Alright. We're doing this at warp speed. People... I can still go fast and take small sections. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I'm kind of skipping over the brush because it's faster. I can get any of the pieces that I miss when I do the roots. But I don't think I'm going to miss many pieces because these are in the front and I can see it really well. And I'm doing a really thick layer. I'm probably going to have to mix up another bowl after this to finish this. Okay, I dragged that all the way down. That's nice and covered. Okay, let's put... foil on this side and then bend it over. Okay, it doesn't go all the way up, but I think that's okay because it'll have heat coming down from the upper layers of foil. So as long as we can get all these foils in, I think we're going to be okay. Alright, I'm going to stop talking now and just zoom through this so that I can concentrate because I gotta go quick. So all of that is in. The ends are sticking out so they will process a little bit slower. So now I have to find a way to get all of these other foils out of the way so that I can work on the roots for the back. Okay, that's warm. And I want to make sure, because this is the side that I started on, I want to see how the top layer is doing. Okay. That looks perfectly white. It's going to turn out yellow, but it looks white when I remove the stuff. Here, I'll show you. It looks white right there, so I'm going to go ahead and do the roots on this side. Okay, so my camera died, but I did this side before I changed out the battery. So you can see I did the tips and the roots, and I'm going to let those marinate for a little bit, and I'm going to check on this side is ready, and it looks pretty ready. If it's not and there's still orange spots, I will come back in like after I take it all out and just like spot check it, but I'm hoping there isn't because I don't want to wash it out again after I have this, so I'm just gonna be real careful. But yeah, that looks pretty darn white to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the tips and the roots of this one. There's like pink in there. Still, that purple was more stubborn than I thought it was going to be, not gonna lie. And I'm gonna go through and cross-check all of these because I'm worried about missing any spots. I also have to do the bottom of the bottom section before I wash it out. So that's gonna be fun. I'm almost done with the back. And then once I'm done with this, I can move on to the bottoms of the back section. Okay, last piece on this side, so I'm feeling better about that. That went quicker than I thought, so good. Ahead of schedule. Well, I'm a little worried that this is gonna sit on this. I'm just gonna be real careful with that. Let me check this side. Oh my god. Okay, this is a mess. Oh no! I'm gonna do the whole bottom row, and I'm just gonna take the whole thing and go up row by row. I'm not gonna touch it to the bleach. Honestly, this could have been easier if I was okay with washing out my hair again. But the fact of the matter is, I gotta deal with my health issues. I can't do it without my husband, and he's already doing it 3 times today. So I'm just gonna throw this on here and do the best I can in just getting the spots that need it and not the spots that don't. Wish me luck, you guys, because this is very stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm stressing out. Okay, I need to work faster. Okay, I'm gonna finish this off camera because it's very stressful, and then I'll come back when it's time for the roots. Okay, so the bottom is done as good as I can. There might be splotches, which I'm just gonna be okay with now because I absolutely have to start on this. So let's do the roots. Okay, let's do this part really quick. Oh, I have to cross-check the back too. I'll cross-check all of it once I'm done with these roots, because these roots are so white, they need to be, or these pieces are so white, they need to have their roots taken care of. And I'm going to do both sides of the front just so that they lift evenly. Oh my goodness, these are so white already. I had to take my glasses off. I won't be able to see a single thing, but I gotta get these little hairs by my ear. Alright, let's start at the top. I am gonna have to refill up my bowl again. And I am gonna hit these roots with some of this leftover, or the ends, I mean. Man, I'm losing my train of thought. I've been doing this for hours, you guys. Hours and hours. I'm just gonna cross-check this right now because I know that there's pieces inside of here. Yep, just like I thought, that piece was too thick. Alright, I'll cross-check it again later just to be sure, but I could feel that that one was too thick. All the rest of these are relatively thin. I shouldn't be so worried about time. I mean, this stuff has been on here for a long time, but I kind of left the other ones on there, and I wish I had left some of them on for a little bit longer even, because there was still some like yellow in the ends. So as long as it's 20 volume and it still has integrity, like when I tug on it, then I'm not gonna freak out about it being on too long. I know it's been on for a really long time, especially on my blonde hair. Okay, I gotta mix up some more right now. So I'm going to mix up some more. I'm going to finish the roots on both of these sides. Sorry if you didn't see much of this side, but I'm going to just do it really quickly. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all ready to be washed out. And then I'll show you again after I wash it out. So wish me luck that it all turns platinum. Okay, so if you can see, I got these bottom pieces done, and I've been like double checking that they're all completely coated and like getting all the spots that looked dry, but these are totally coated now. So all those pieces, and then I got those pieces up at the top that were still orange. Then I did all the roots, and I dragged the bleach through the ends and put a little bit more bleach on the ends because they had dried out a little bit, unfortunately. So I just added some more, and then I did all the roots, and then I cross-checked, and I did find some spots. So that's why cross-checking is so important, because even though I took really thin slices, like you can always miss some. And I did that in the back and the front. So every single thing is coated, and my scalp is starting to feel a little tingly. I did have to wash it after the bleach wash, but I tried to stay away from my scalp, and I didn't scrub it, and my hair was dirty when I started. And the top did get wet, but it should still have some of the oils on there for the bleach to not burn. And it's just like a very light tingle, and I did put 20 volume on my scalp. So we're just gonna leave it all on there and do like the test strand for the first section that I did, so that would be right here. And then I'm gonna just check the roots on the last section that I did every 5 minutes and make sure that that's all the way white before I wash the whole thing out. So I say all of that to say I will be back after I have all of this washed out and it's done processing. Okay, so I got bleach on my glasses, but we're gonna ignore that for a moment. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when the pieces are like white. I'm gonna just pull away some of this bleach. Basically just take my finger and you can see like that looks like white, pale yellow. So when I wash it out, it will be very pale. So hopefully it's even everywhere. I did cross-check everything. So I did the very best I could. I did the height of my skills, even though I'm not a hairdresser. I tried my best and I followed all the rules that I know of to the best of my ability. So please cross your fingers for me that it washes out perfectly and that I don't have like brown spots or anything like that. So wish me luck for that and I'll see you guys in a minute. So I'm back. So the ends didn't get quite as light as I wanted and you can still see traces of the pink from the purple dye that I had on. But to say that this was a huge success, like you can still see that this is not a level 10. This is like a level 9 down here, and then up here is a level 10. Like this has no toner on it. And we're gonna see what this looks like dry. But let me tell you, I lost maybe 5 hairs in the shower. Like no hair came out. It's perfectly healthy. It's super strong. No breakage even on the ends. No breakage. Look at this. Even down to the very bottom. So I have like a little bit of a wide band right here. And honestly, it's not going to look as dark once it's dry. It does have a pretty stark difference from the top to the base, but I'm not bleaching it again. I'm just going to be putting colors over the top of it, and it's light enough to do pastels once it's dry because it's looking even darker in the camera than it looks in real life. So like you can see, it is darker than up here for sure because I did it last. But just like, that is amazing. I'm going to blow dry it and put a leave-in treatment so that it builds back some of the proteins that were broken down. But it is so healthy. It's so strong. It feels like soft even when it's wet. Like it's absolutely perfect. So drying it is going to be no problem at all. And you're going to see that in just a minute. So stay tuned because it's coming. I honestly am blown away. My ends are still like kind of level 9 a little bit. But I'm totally okay with that because once I tone it, it should be light enough to put pastel colors over it. So that is my goal. And yes, it's still yellow because it's not toned, but I did curl it. And like, just look at how healthy that is. Like, it's so healthy. I'm honestly like in shock that I could do this myself. And let me show you the back. So I love it and I didn't miss any spots. Cross-checking is what makes that happen. So if you're gonna do your own hair or your roots, cross-check everything. But just can we appreciate how good this is? I know it's not perfect and I know that toner isn't gonna fix it all, but I am really happy with it. I've curled it and I've taken a second look at it, and this color is level 10 and this color is level 9. So I was gonna just tone it, but I think I'm gonna have to go in with a bleach wash and just kind of get all this color that's residual out of my hair. So I'm basically going to mix up a 1-to-1 mixture of bleach and developer, and I'm going to use a level 20. I'm still using BlondMe bleach, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of shampoo, and I'm going to get the bottom half of this all wet, and I'm just going to run it through really well, let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes until all of this is much lighter. Check on it every 5 minutes. It might not take as long as I think. And once it gets to the pure light blonde color that's up here, once this matches it, then I will wash it all out. But as you can see, these colors are not the same. There's still residual yellow, orange warmth in the bottom there. And some of it is residual leftover from the Brad Mondo Super Purple that I used. So I want to get all of that out and gone, and that way it can all be like an even canvas to put my toner on, because I feel like if I put toner on right now, it's just going to be two different colors and it'll be a lot more obvious. And I want to make sure that it's like really perfect. So come along with me as I do a bleach wash, and then we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so the first step is I need wet hair, and I'm just going to wet it with this spray bottle, and you can see when it's wet the like stark difference in this color. Like these pieces are very, very orange, and so I want to make those go to white, because like I was pretty much okay with it, but I think that that was because I had just spent 8 hours doing my hair and I was like so tired, and I was like, oh, it looks perfect, it'll be better when it's dry. But like, no, we're gonna get it actually perfect, or as close to it as possible. The main reason that I feel okay with doing this is because I had like literally no damage from putting like a full 20 volume mix with no shampoo in it. So I feel like as long as I use the BlondMe that has like the bonding formula, that it will be fine to do a bleach wash with 20 volume, especially since it'll be like less potent. And I don't think I'll have any damage or breakage, because honestly my hair feels equally as strong as it did before I bleached it. Like no pieces coming out, no breakage. So I think that I'm just gonna roll with it, and I think it'll be fine. Okay, so this is the mixture that I have. We have the shampoo and the 1-to-1 developer to bleach powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up, and I'll come back when I'm putting it on my hair. Okay, so it's mixed up and it pretty much looks like bleach. I didn't add too much shampoo, but I'm just going to put it all on these ends right here, and I'm going to make sure I look in the mirrors and get all the angles so that I don't miss any spots that are super orange. And I'm just going to go in with my hands. And I am wearing a shirt today. Ooh, it's strong. I am wearing a shirt today that covers all my shoulders because yesterday I wore a tank top and I got a little bit of chemical burns like on my neck where these hairs were sitting for a little bit too long. So that's not fun. Don't recommend. So make sure that you cover yourself with a cape or a shirt and don't kill your skin like I did. I'm just re-wetting some areas that got a little bit dry. My hair dries out really kind of fast when it's not like sopping wet. So, and I am going to comb this through as well, and then like try and lather it as much as possible. And if I have to add more, then I'll definitely add more. I am determined to get these ends white, just like the rest. Okay, let's do the other side really quick before it dries out too much. Alright, I'm just going to speed through the rest of this, so I will be back when it's all coated and brushed through. So give me just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so the bleach bath is all in. I made sure to do it nice and thick. I did have to mix up a little bit more, I didn't make enough. But it's all in my ends, and I lathered it all really good like this, but you can see like as I pull apart, it's on every strand, it's all in there. There's some pieces that are still blonde that I tried to like skip over. I'm going to leave it in and try not to let it touch my skin because I already have enough chemical burns as it is. But I'm going to leave this in for about, like I said, like 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm going to check the strands by like getting like a wet paper towel and like rubbing off little pieces of the bleach to try and see if it's that pale yellow. I'll just check every 5 minutes, and then when it looks ready, regardless of whether it's 20 or 30 minutes or even less, I will wash it all out, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like wet, and then see if it matches the tone on the top. Cross your fingers for me. I really hope that it matches, because I really want to tone it and I want the bleaching process to be done. I will see you when this is all washed out. Okay, I would say that it worked like 75%. So it does look a lot more even, but I do have to say that it didn't get everything out. Like I can still see some darkness popping out here and there. But for the most part, I would say it's a pretty even level 10. At least I'm going to say it's even enough that a toner will be even on the whole thing. So I was going to tone with Virgin Snow from Manic Panic, but honestly, the bottle is so small that it won't cover my whole head, and I really don't want to order another one. So I think what I'm going to do is go to Sally's and see what I can find there. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tone it. I'm just going to go with damp hair, and then I'll refresh the dampness when I get home, because I know you're supposed to tone with relatively damp hair. I know people do it dry or wet, but I don't know. I've always done it wet and never had a problem. So I guess I'll just follow the directions of whatever toner I get. But I do have to say, when I first got out of the shower and it was soaking wet, I could see a lot darker spots than now when it's just like halfway wet. So this does feel a lot better to me. It does look level 10 all over. So even if I have a couple spots that are like 9.5, I'm gonna say this is pretty even all around, especially since this part right here is pretty much dry and then all of this right here is wet. So I think once it all dries, it's gonna be really even from top to ends. But yeah, I am off to Sally's and I'll see you when I get back. Okay, I'm back from Sally's and you can see it's mostly dried now. So it is a really nice, very, very, very close enough to level 10 that I feel like I can tone it white no problem now. There is a tiny little bit like underneath here and there that have a little bit of level 9. Like you can see right here, there's a little bit left, but also this piece is still wet, so it even will get a little bit lighter than that. But I am perfectly happy with toning it all now because I think it's even enough. And I went to Sally's and I got 2 of the Ion cream toners. One is in Snow Cap and one is in Icy White. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix these 2 together, and then I'm going to use 7 volume of developer, and I'm going to use it on damp hair. So I'm going to go ahead and dampen my hair and put these all over my head, and then I will be back when the toner is all over my head. Honestly, I don't know if I have enough on here, so I think I'm just gonna double it up, make another batch and put that on so that I absolutely don't mess up this step. So I'll do that and then I'll wash it out and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all washed out. Okay, so I washed the toner out and I did freak out a little bit in the shower because it looked like dark. Like as it was processing, it turned like purpley and brown because I mixed those colors together and stuff. And I was worried that it wasn't coming out, so I like kept scrubbing it, and so I washed it like really well, and it might have been a little bit over processed, but I think because I washed it like for a long time that kind of got that out. And as you can see, it's very evenly toned now, so it should be bright white when I finish blow drying it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I will be right back with the finished result. This is the final look. I would say it's pretty darn white. It's very close to what I want. I don't think personally me at home doing this myself could get any more white than this without more damage. So I have no damage. Even the very tips of my hairs are so strong, and no elasticity, no hairs falling out. It's literally just as healthy as when it was like my raw natural hair. I honestly couldn't ask for more than what I got. I'm really, really happy with it. And when I want to put pastel colors on top of it or change it up, this is the perfect canvas for that, because I love pastels and you have to be very, very light to do a true pastel. I am really excited to explore a bunch of different pastel colors and have them actually come out beautiful, because I am a pastel girly. The only thing that I have to say that's a negative about having this light of hair is that to put makeup on right here is a little bit of a challenge, because you have to be really careful with where you put it, because otherwise it will get in your hair and stain it. And I will be touching up my roots every 4 to 5 weeks just so that it can stay this beautiful light level 10. Of course it won't stay white for long because I'm going to put colors on top of it all the time and change it up all the time, but I'm really proud of myself for getting this level with no damage at home, and I just want to say thank you to Hair Buddha for turning me on to the BlondMe and for showing me all the things not to do and giving me advice. And thank you to Brad Mondo for also punching in our heads not to do the roots first, because my roots came out so beautiful. They're not hot at all. In fact, they have a little bit of darkness to them. So I have to say it came out beautifully. So thank you everyone who gave me amazing advice. And thank you all for watching my very long and very detailed hair journey. If you want more content like this, I will be posting a lot of hair videos coming up. So stay tuned for those if you want to see me go all sorts of pastel and all sorts of different colors. I have big plans coming up, so stay tuned for that. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!